What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, it's a beautiful sunny day today. We're back up somewhere that we failed our mission last weekend, and although it was just for fun, we couldn't let that go. We need to make it through. So today I've brought Marge, Denny's in his LJ, Ryan's back with his XJ, and we're gonna try our best to make it through this road that we failed on last weekend. Ryan's just airing down Marge, Denny's done airing down LJ, and first, we've got a recovery to do. So, first up, we're pulling that trailer out. So we found out about this yesterday. It was hooked to a truck at that point. The guy was back in town. We were gonna come pull both of them out this morning, but I guess he came up last night, dug his truck out and got it out, but the trailer's still stuck, which probably thought he was helping out, but that actually makes it considerably harder because now we have to get his truck hooked back to it. And if you've ever hooked onto a trailer before, you know it's very specific where it needs to go. So that's probably going to be the biggest struggle. And then we have to winch both out, back them up 120 feet to pavement, and then we continue on our way for our adventure. So starting with this, just waiting for him to show up, come up with a plan, hopefully get them hooked back on, get them out of there, and then start our day. So it appears that either the jack isn't working or it's buried in the snow, but the hitch is currently a few inches off the ground. So yeah, this is why you don't unhook if you're stuck, especially if you're out home safe. Just wait, because this whole unit could have just pulled it back on the road this way and then straight back. And now that is not going to be easy to get that on because this is slushy and you can't really tell, but off camber towards the ditch. Now, I'll at least track pack this to hopefully give us a chance for him hooking back on. Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
Bruce?
That's me.
Justin.
Nice to meet you.
What you thinking?
Well, we're gonna have to get you hooked back on.
Okay.
Does that jack work?
That jack works. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have like a truck jack. You just
Sweet.
Sneak under there. And
Perfect.
pop it up.
Okay. So if you can,
Yeah.
we'll kind of have you not perfectly in line with it so that you're not in the ditch also. Like,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, so Ryan will back you up, but yeah, a little more angled on kind of thing. All right, so he is going to try to pull back in front of the trailer and hook on. Ryan's gonna just spot him back. Once he's hooked on, I'm gonna try and pull him this way while Denny is kind of 90 degrees pulling the trailer back onto the road. This is almost the hardest part. So now he's got a truck jack with him, so they'll have to jack up the hitch to get it hooked on. So thankfully there's a nice bank here that Denny can kind of back over to anchor him, and he'll hook on 90 degrees to the back of it and basically just tighten up, and then kind of as it pendulums, it'll tighten itself up. So kind of as I pull and he drives out, it'll tighten on Denny's winch, so pull him out at the same time. Got him backed in at a bit of an angle so that he's not in the cabbage. In theory, it shouldn't be that difficult. One more shot here and then he should be lined up, and then he'll probably back over kind of halfway down the bank. He can get his winch hooked on, and then at that point he can decide how far he wants to go, kind of belay himself out. Well, he just started driving himself, and with it packed down, he was able to pull out with some trailer scrapage, which we were trying to prevent, but it's his trailer, so he's on the road now, just backing it up in the slippery snow. So yeah, I mean, pulled out on his own. Like I said, drug along that tree, but that is his decision. I would have hooked on and assisted it away from the tree a little bit, but not gonna complain because that just sped things up. So there was his tracks pressed against that tree, but like I said, it's not mine. Looks like he's gonna make it though. Gets less and less snow to the pavement from here on out. Backing up trailers is all about subtle input to the steering wheel. Little changes. Trailer is on pavement, and he is now on pavement. Well, that's an easy recovery. I'm definitely glad we didn't come up just for that. We were coming up to this area anyways, just happened to be literally on the exit off the highway that we were on, so glad we didn't make a special trip for that one. I mean, okay. Huh. I was just saying glad we didn't make a special trip for that one, and yep. I was also saying not my trailer.
Yeah. Gotta love how they take direction too.
Yep. Or not.
Yep. Especially when they're kind of know how to back up a trailer.
All right, we're on our way in a tunnel. Hit a quick tunnel rev. Yep, good, we can go. So like I mentioned, we tried this route after a recovery last weekend and we failed. And yes, it's not like failing a job or something, it's just something for fun and doesn't matter at all, but it still eats at me when we don't successfully make our way through a trail. So brought the big guns this time. The temperature and weather has been better this week because last week it was sugary and soft underneath. If we spent several more hours, we probably could have made it through, but it was like 6 o'clock p.m. and we still had 80 kilometers to go. So, I mean, it's already 11 o'clock right now, a.m. after doing that recovery, if you want to call it that. But I think the snow should be better, so let's go give it a shot. Well, as I was filming that, Denny was doing Denny things and planted it pretty good off the side. So I'm just backing up. That is a good plant. Even for Denny, that's good. He is in there. Oh, that's gotta be like 40 degrees. The snow's definitely holding them up. Yeah, that's planted. Hey, you can't park there.
I actually can't.
Not for long anyway.
I got a highway there.
Oh.
It's one of those ones where you like turn the radio dial to the other side. Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely. I seen. There's like. I didn't want to continue. No.
That's what they call a false edge right there.
Yeah. False.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. He went to play in the snow right there, and well, there's no dirt under that. That's the main highway. Ryan's hooked up with his winch. We'll see how this goes. Hanging onto his passenger side. Holy heck handle. There we go. Never happened. There's a little bit of a soft spot right there. So that's the plant spot. Is deep there. So that's where he planted his tire, and that's like a 60-degree angle bank down probably 70 feet to the road. It's like a Denny size hole there.
This is Denny.
Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. We're good. Anyways, back on the road. Yeah, so I actually didn't catch that on camera. Could you just do that again once? Maybe twice, I'll get a different angle.
Yeah, I'll hit it faster though, so there's definitely no way it'll end up being okay.
I mean, there's a chance he'll do it again. I'm not kidding. All right, see if we can make it off plowed road before the next incident. We've made it back to the end of plowed. Man, it has melted quite a bit in just a week. You can't even tell that we drove over there 7 days ago. So we will see how the rest of the trail goes. We have, I believe, probably 90 kilometers left to go. So
It was, yeah, about 90 from here.
from where we couldn't make it was 80, so
Yeah.
almost there. So that was part of the idea of bringing Marge today, was A, definitely making it through, but B, having very large vehicle, pretty large Jeep as far as Jeeps go, and then more of a stock style. So we're gonna have all the boxes checked today and all 3 different track widths. Anyways, let's just pop through here and should be out to West Side Road by 1, and then we'll figure out what we want to do from there.
Yep.
Denny's cleaning service. This is just a treat. He's got the Windex. Only sledders coming through. Looks like we'll have some tracks at least. Denny's just debating whether he does Denny things or not and tries to make it over that almost impossible hill. Shut up, Marge. It's all the lights on.
I mean, I think I could.
I mean, no one likes a coward.
And
To say it.
would it be rude not to?
It would. And you're in the most capable vehicle here, and like with the most clearance, so if anyone's gonna do it, it's you. You got the biggest tires and the most horsepower.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan's stuck.
Well, I guess you found the soft spot.
Yeah, just that spot. That should be it though. Yeah, the snow might be interesting because, I mean, he's in our tracks from last weekend. You can see the right tire there. So we shall see how the snow is. Oof. Interesting. Piece of cake. I mean, if you did it again at like twice that speed, it'd be even smoother. And Ryan's dropping some more PSIs, because that wasn't a great test.
I'm good with that.
What? What do you mean quit while you're ahead? All right, how's it gonna do with a few less pounds? And keep in mind, no locker. Crawls right through his tracks. What pressure's that?
About 5.
Nice. All right, here we go. I mean, it's kind of drive anywhere snow, but definitely sinking more than I thought. But in our tracks is still good, so that's good. Everyone's moving. Oh man, I love this time of year. I just wish it lasted longer. Where it's nice and warm, can have the window open all day, sun's shining, snow's good quality. Yeah, pretty soon this will be very hot, very dusty, and just not the same. The snow is definitely acting weird. It's like it's melted underneath, because in our tracks where it's hard pack, it's just kind of like giving way and we're dropping a few inches. You can see the cracks there. Well, we've been scooting along, no dramas so far, which is to be expected. But we are definitely getting close to the wind drifts, which, if you watched the last video, you would know this is where I struggled for about half an hour. Well, there was different struggles along the way, a few inches and whatnot, but ultimately we had to turn around because the snow was just too crappy and wind drifts are very angled and very deep. So this is where the going gets going or something. Wind drift number 1. So yeah, the road goes there, which is usually a cut into the banks. There'd be a big bank there. But now you can see just tracks going over, angled. Now maybe you can't see because it's very bright, but that's what we're working with. Down there, I'm trying the fresh stuff up here. Well, this is a good sign for being able to drive through the clear cuts. I know that wind drifts are harder packed, but still.
Sink there.
Wow, that was a snow quality change. All right, everyone's up. Ryan's following. We are not sinking much. So that's a good sign for being able to drive through the clear cuts. But wind drifts do tend to be more solid. Well, as I was just saying, wind drifts tend to be harder this time of year. In the middle of winter when they're first deposited, they're obviously softer. But as soon as we got off the wind drift, I just started sinking like a good foot. And then Denny was dragging diff, and then Ryan with less clearance just started plowing, so it got him. So yeah, we'll just have to see when we get to the bad one. Yeah, it's just your high side 2 tires just spinning. Well, unfortunately the no locker got Ryan on that one. You can see his high side tires just spinning. That'll change soon in the next few weeks, hopefully. But yeah, those are very deep Marge ruts on a pretty steep angle, so can't blame it. Denny's just gonna give him a quick tug here with the old kinetic, and they'll be out of there. Just a quick little tug and he's out. So that's the easy one over and done with. Now on to the more difficult one that we didn't pass. Just like that, we are to the end of our last weekend's trip. You can see the marks finishing on the hill, so the road goes out and around there. But I don't think that's gonna work. So there's dirt up on top of the clear cut, which that wasn't there last weekend, so I think I'm gonna try and go right. That's not a road, but when you're on snow, it's safer to drive through clear cuts because you're not gonna run into stumps and things. But we will see how the snow quality is, because going across there might be doable, but it's very steep and we'll definitely be crab walking. Definitely not hero snow. Ryan brought the old snow probe today, so while I'm messing with this, he can go, holy cow.
That's a 280 centimeter snow probe.
280 centimeter snow probe, whatever that means. It's a lot. And that's not even a deep spot.
No.
It's deep up there. So when I say it's 10 feet and people don't believe me, it's 10 feet. So I'll keep struggling here. He'll go get a couple more samples and I'll put them on the screen later.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
235 cents.
At the corner, it'll be over that thing for sure.
Oh yeah.
Just like that, lost the rear bead on the tire. It's the same one that's giving me a problem, so not a great spot for it to happen, but I suppose it could be worse. It's definitely pulled off the inside bead, so we are going to back it up a little bit to get on more level ground because I'm up this way and this way, so not ideal. So I'll back up 10 or 20 feet and be easier to jack from there.
A little more. I'm gonna say probably hang tight. Let's just do it here.
Well, backed up a little bit anyway, bit better. They're just digging under the axle so we can get the jack under there, because for the ether trick, you need all sides of the tire kind of sitting there. Right now it's squished off and completely pulled away from the bead, so once we get it up, it'll kind of center, and spray some go juice and light it up. That is the beauty of snow, that with enough work you can do a lot of things like
Remove it.
mud. This would be, I mean, technically with enough work you can also, but not this nice.
Start the compressor.
Oh.
There it is.
Yeah. Go, go, go.
Okay, blown out. Get that. Still. Oh, sucking it down now. Oh no! So close. Yodelay hee-hoo. You're gonna stop doing that, annoying myself.
Later.
I mean, this thing's a rock.
Yep.
It's perfectly lined up now.
If we get both compressors, can you push this in right now?
I think I went a little early on the compressor too. I didn't know that.
Let's throw the compressor on.
Okay.
And then I think if you and I just push on it,
Okay.
we might be able
Fire up the Milwaukee. Got both compressors going. The inner bead is close, so. Oh, there you go.
That's what we needed on the bottom there. I just felt it click over.
The thing, all it takes is to grab.
Yep. Start.
Yep. Got it. Well, we'll finish putting air into that one. He didn't have a very good channel to get the ether in. It's nice when you can go the whole way around. Having it off helps with that. But it did blow it over kind of close to the bead, so then they're able to push 2 compressors. Denny's is a dual, so just takes it grabbing that bead and sealing for a split second and it'll grab it. Another win. Let's go see what will go wrong next. I flew the drone and it's kind of up and over, skirt the edge of the dirt up there, steep downhill, and we're back to the road, so should work. Just gonna get a quick sample of what we're trying to drive over.
It's over 3 feet.
Yeah,
115 centimeters.
over 3 feet here. People think because you can see dirt that it's that everywhere, but very different with the wind. Okay. I'm through the worst of it, so now we'll see if my ruts are packed enough for Denny and Ryan to follow. They're a little deep, so hopefully they're not pushing too much of the axle, but I think we'll be okay. Well, we made it through the worst of it, so now we just have to drop down this pretty steep hill, very deep wind drift, back onto the main road. Probably doesn't look like much from here, but that'll be probably 10 to 12 feet deep in the middle there. And that's the road right there. So just over there is dirt, and dirt for quite a while. So that's the difference about 200 feet can make. There's a tree there.
Yeah.
That's deep.
It is deep, yes.
Tire's flat.
Oh.
Well, once dropping down that hill, it was very deep, more side hilling. Somehow the front left decided to lose air. So real annoying, but yeah, it wasn't a lot of steering left when it's flat and very deep snow and all that. So yeah, hopefully this one just pumps up. Denny's just gonna park there, Ryan will park there, and hopefully just throw some air in this thing. I didn't want to turn this way, we're going that way, but with a flat tire downhill and front locker engaged, well, you don't really have a choice. Thankfully that tire just took some air, so we're back up to pressure. I'm gonna get out of the way here, and we'll see how they do coming down. I drove over a tree and it was very deep. I think that's actually what popped the bead. There was so much pressure into the crossing the tree, it would have created a crease. And between that and pushing on the valve and leaking it out, that's what did it. All right, Denny's turn. So I went that way forcefully and then backed up here. He's gonna try and turn past that. See if he can make it out of my, well, we'll see if they can make it over that buried tree first. There was quite a bit of resistance. And then see if he can make it out of my ruts. There he goes. Oh, so... There we go. Oh! Hey! Nice. All right. Need to get Ryan around the corner. And Bob's our uncle. We just learned today that Ryan's uncle is Bob. How lucky is he? Living the dream. We have made it back to dirt. Oh, for now. We still have like 78 kilometers of snow left to go. But I'm gonna stop here for a second, get the tires back to the same pressure all around before we continue. Well, I got some news here.
Yeah.
Appears to be another wind drift. And another fairly large one, considering I can't even tell where the road goes. Oh, over there. Jeez. I'm just gonna try this for a second.
Yeah, the low line looks good.
On this one, we're trying low line, which means through the foliage a little bit. And before anyone complains about us driving through those are glorified weeds right on the side of the road, which the logging companies have to come through and cut out anyways. They encroach on the roads and they're a huge hassle to get rid of, so no problem plowing over those. Well, I'm making my way here. Slowly, there's just such soft spots and then hard pack. Ryan's taking a quick pull back there because he's found his way to the lower Marge ruts, which are less than ideal. Looks like Denny's just trying to get kind of uphill from him so we can pull out of that. And something is definitely making the air leak out of these tires. And I think it's got to do with how much snow packs in, because the lower side has a ton of pressure on it and the snow's packing in there like crazy. And I just heard them leaking again.
Trying to make it to the spruce moose. Spruce. Whoa. Hearing some tire sounds. So I'm gonna have a peekaroo.
All right, we got air back in the tire for the manyth time. Put valve cores back in because I think the gator valves and even the Schrader cores, I think the snow was packing in so tight it was pushing it. It's the only thing I can think because it's the very downhill side and it is packed in there very hard. But back rolling again, deep snow, side hill. It's that for a while. Turns out that corner up there is actually the one that I thought was back there, so one more big wind drift to go. Found ourselves in a bit of a pickle again. That's the road down there, and it's very side hill all the way into the rhubarb over there. So last video we were right there, went up and around, working our way down. It is so deep. Thankfully gravity on the side for that section because he's plowing like a D8. I'm on kind of a breather patch here and then back out to it around there. Might have to do some rock crawling there. So the crappy thing with these side hills is you want to stay on top, but as soon as you start to tip, it puts a lot more weight onto your lower side tires, which makes them sink even more, and the upside tires float even better. So the upside stays on top and the low side sinks like 2 feet, which makes you go even steeper than the drift even is, and just keeps adding weight to the lower side tires the further you tip. So kind of snowball effect in the snow. I think we're almost at the end here, and it wouldn't be the end of the world if I ended up down in that rhubarb. So let's see what happens here.
It's just normal stuff.
See if Ryan can make it with the open diffs. That's another bad thing for him. The more he tips down, the less weight is on the top tires, and the power will be sent to the tires with the least amount of traction. But he makes it. Did you check Drive BC to see if this is plowed and salted?
It's not plowed, it's not salted, which is good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there goes Ryan. Is Ryan doing Denny things? What the heck is happening here?
Yeah, I have that effect on people.
I mean, you did hit your quota pretty early on today, so.
And you missed one too. I got one into that tunnel, so.
You see, the snow is still deep here, but it's level. Well, it's a little off camber, but fairly level. So you can actually just make tracks. And if you stop your progress, you can back up, it packs, get a run at it. So this is actually pretty steep uphill. They're just making their way up. I'm breaking trail. It's deep. But we're gonna make some miles or kilometers, depending where you're at. Or beavers, or F-150s, or eagles, or moose, or meese, or...
Yeah, I think I'll probably have to lose a pound or so.
Okay. Well, we've hit a stretch that's uphill and I think had shade, or has shade most of the day. And with it being really cold overnight and not seeing sun during the day, it is still sugary. So really struggling here, moving inches at a time. So gonna drop another pound or so and hopefully we can get up this stretch and it improves as we go.
That's what happens when you don't have tire chains.
Chains would be up here, no problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We'd be down there, no problem.
Yeah.
We'd be putting air in your tires right now, chains.
Yeah, look at that sugary. And just trying to pack with your feet and it doesn't even.
Yeah.
Well, with a couple pounds out, made it through the sugary stuff, and now on this stretch, it's shaded now, but you can tell it had sun during the day because it is much better quality, hardly sinking, and we're really hoping that keeps up because time is ticking and we have a long way to go. Just as we were making some progress, another flat tire inner bead off. So that's the thing, once it comes off once and gets snow and crap in there, it slides off a little easier. So gonna have to address that once we're home. But for now, we're getting it back on. Slightly frustrating, especially since you need to be at those low single-digit numbers in the tires for pressure to be able to make it through this stuff. For some reason, that tire has given us problems. So probably back at the shop, put some bead sealant on it, glue it on there. But for now, maybe you could give this video a like. Maybe leave a comment if you're enjoying it, because, I mean, especially for Denny and Ryan, it's been a little bit of extra work, so hopefully it is worth it for the Marge video. 2 aired down. Perfectly aired down.
So what did we actually need to do this? So we needed a shovel, we needed a jack, and then a flat piece of board. Yep.
Yeah. Tire is back on. We are back rolling. So 17 kilometers until I know that we're good for sure.
Yeah, I might need you to pull me, Bruce.
Man, this snow is just changing from corner to corner. It's doing the same thing it was last weekend where it kind of packs the top, but it's sugar underneath, and it is kind of spongy when you go across. So Unfortunately, it got Denny. And Denny is still attached to Ryan, but Ryan couldn't budge him going back because he's also on sugary stuff. It packs a little bit better up there, so we'll see. I've got the 3/4 inch, 30-foot Yankum on there. So hopefully pull them both through this bad section. It gets a bit better on the hill. Hopefully that continues, because another hill. Here we go. Well, I mean, we made it like 20 feet. It was pretty good. Ryan's trying to bump him backwards again.
I think your diff dug in, that's why maybe.
So we'll probably just stay hooked up for the rest of this stupid hill. Come on, Large Marge.
Yeah, that's exactly why I can't pull you backwards, because your diff digs in.
That's weird. It's almost like deep snow. Your diff digs in.
And you're pulling from snow too. Oh yeah, as soon as I get the kinetic on you, it's just freaking, my tires just have like a full rotation almost, it feels like.
This is a big reason that I believe it's worth it to buy a good quality kinetic rope. There are often days that we are putting hundreds of hits on a rope when we're hooked up for several kilometers. With cheaper ropes, they can break down and lose their effectiveness, whereas Yankum ropes will take the hits and work just as well every single time. If you guys want to save 10% off everything that Yankum has to offer, you can check the link in the description. Well, starting to get a little frustrating, not gonna lie. We pumped this tire up to about 7 psi. It looks like she's already flat, so I think it's like I said before, after losing the inner bead, gets some crap in there so it slowly leaks out, and there's a lot of pressure on the sidewall.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, problem is if we go higher than 7, then we're not able to make it because it is very deep soft snow, so kind of a pickle. Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Yep.
Need to be aired down to make it through the snow, but bead is not happy. I think, yeah, if I could run at like 3 or 4, like you should be able to, I think this would be not too bad. See how long it lasts this time. All right, back up to 6.5 psi, and yep, still snowy and untraveled. update. After another flat tire or two, this section is completely untraveled. So we're just going back a couple 100 meters, and there's a little bypass road that hopefully is a little more traveled, at least with sleds, and it hooks back on. I thought it was like a big detour of several kilometers, but there's like a half a kilometer little detour that hooks back on. We're in a bit of a pickle.
We are in a bit of a pickle. Like if you had a jar of pickles and opened it and took one out,
I wouldn't mind that.
we'd be in the jar now, placing the pickle.
Well,
We're just discussing the pickle that we're in. A little bit.
we're spinning around.
No tracks.
Mm,
Not good enough.
more than anything, it's just that these trees continue this way all the way to the lake at least.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She's.
Well, if you're sure, it just sucks because we're 2 kilometers from the lake. Like,
Yeah.
We don't also know that.
And I'm blowing beads at 6 psi. Like
Yeah.
8 is not doing it. So
Yep.
I think we are calling it here. I'm now under half a tank of gas, and I flew the drone ahead to the lake to where I think it gets better from. And we still got 2 kilometers to get there. And the problem is this all runs east-west with a hill and tall trees on the south side. So it's gotten very little sun all day, and that's really what we're banking on. And we are losing degrees by the minute. In the last hour, it's gone from about 14 degrees Celsius down to about 6. So it's only going to get worse. Thankfully, our tracks will be setting up better and better when it gets cold, but there's some cut blocks and steep hills that we came down that you may recall that I'm not very confident we can get back up. And hopefully we got enough fuel to get out of here. Like I said, I'm just under a half. Denny's just under a half. Ryan's at a half. I've got 20 extra liters. Denny's got 20 extra liters. And Ryan has got 20 extra liters, but it's at home in his garage. So we're going to try and turn around here in place, which is very sugary. So it's going to take some time. It is, 27:22 now. And yeah, we're going to lose darkness in the next 10-15 minutes. So let's get at it. All right, I did the 1,000-point turn. Ryan tried to turn around there, got stuck. I think maybe fried his winch, got himself out. So Denny's pulled past. Ryan's gonna try and jam in here also so that we're in the right order again. And then hopefully they can use my kinda packed area of sugary snow to turn around. And then that's when the second part of the adventure starts. There we go, a little different line. Actually, just keep pulling up, you'll fit right behind him there. Because he was able to go on the snow a bit. Perfect. Hell yeah. Okay, I'll pull forward. I'll pull forward there now, and then I can be of assistance pulling them around when they turn around, if they get stuck. Yeah, Ryan's making it. It's all about just being patient, taking slow little bits. Even if you only go 6 or 8 inches at a time, you can get turned around. So the new plan, since Ryan has indeed fried his winch, is he's gonna go in the middle, because I have a rear winch on Marge, so I could winch myself backwards or him forwards, and then Denny at the back with his front winch can winch himself forward or Ryan backwards. So I'm currently hooked up to Ryan right now, because this hill is bad and we just want to get out of here. and Denny's gonna try and follow in the tracks, which he should be okay.
Alright, well, we've admitted defeat for tonight. Otherwise we'll be battling way too late. 2 kilometers away. Not from being out, just to a place that may have been better.
Well, we're moving. That's a good sign that the tracks are set up pretty good. That very sugary hill was packed down all right, so that's hopefully a sign of good things. So not getting a ton of clips on the way out, mostly because my hands are a little tied, but we're making it. Now I have a back right tire flat, so it seems to be definitely the downhill loaded side. So we'll have to address that very soon because that is extremely frustrating. All right, the first section of wind drift. See how this goes. I'm now at like 7 or 8 PSI, I think, in most of the tires, so it is brutal. That's what I air up to for highway in this thing.
Oh yeah, this part. That's quite the angle, wow. Yikes. I know camera doesn't do justice, but this just, it's quite the angle. And no real pack to it. You can see the sleds went high left. High driver there. And we can't do that. Go, you good thing. Oh, I don't like that. See if I can go on a higher line. Well, I did on the front. Yes.
Well, that's a yeah. Nice work.
And somehow I even stayed on your like high line and didn't fall into that at all. Wow. This is a steep hill, guys. I just crawled up to him here. Now Bruce has to make a corner because he was pulling him straight up. There we go. Good job, Bruce. Good job, Marjorie.
Oof, we made it up the steep hill, even aired up. So I think it mostly felt terrible before, and even deeper because I had a flat tire on the front going down. Bit of spinning, but got Ryan pulled up. We're just deking stumps now on top of the cut block. So he's unhooking. Denny made it up also. This next stretch back to the main is downhill pretty good, so Ryan should be all right there. And then we are on, well, back on the main to where I trust, so hopefully looking good. 10 to 9, and still a long drive down the highway in Marge.
Bingo.
Oof, all right, we are back on the main road. Not that we're out of the literal or metaphorical woods yet, but fairly confident from here. So, already have our ruts, nothing crazy off camber, no crazy climbs. Let's get this portion over with. Just like that, we are back to dirt after many, many kilometers of fighting very soft snow with too much air pressure. That is dirt. All right, we have made it back to pavement. The highway's right there. It's 10:45. We are tired and sore and fairly over it. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Next time you see Large Marge, the tires will definitely be fixed so we can party a little harder. Now we have a probably about hour-long drive back on the highway. That should be fun in Marge. If it ain't quite right, move it at night, and that is what we are doing. So, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe, the like, leave a comment, all that stuff. We really appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you on the next video.